In this series, we are looking how to get a career in photography. There are many entry levels and intermediate roles in the industry, such as photography assistant, photographer, editor, and more. You can work for a company or freelance, or in a team on your own. Photography assistants. To be a photography assistant, you will be helping with photographers in a lot of ways. This could be helping set up equipment, such as tripods, wires, and sets, or getting food and drinks for the model and crew. It could be simply holding bags or an umbrella. Or you could be doing much more complicated jobs, such as sorting the lighting out, helping with effects like Goombas or filters. In fact, doing the job a photographer asks to make a shoot go smoothly is pretty much the job. According to Glassdoor, they say an assistant can make up to $38,000 in a year. Indeed says on average, people make about £20,744 a year, and Talent.com says around £21,930 a year. So the average is about $27,000 a year. This job normally takes place on a Monday to Friday in a studio. However, clients may request to go out to places, so you'll need to work out and check out the sets and locations, get some photography examples of what it will look like and the conditions you'll be working in to make sure it is reasonable for a shoot and safe. Some skills that are useful for assistant are obedience. Some photographers just want you to do as you're told and nothing else. Creative view. The photographer may ask you to put some input at some point. Having knowledge of apps such as Trello, Teams, Excel, Photoshop, and others that may be requested. Communication skills. You'll need to know how to talk to a model, client, and customer, and also your fellow co-workers. Teamwork. And also the capability to work alone. Being good under pressure. Having knowledge of different types of photography, such as weddings, photo shoots, fashion, advertisement, babies, school photography, pets, cosplays, and many more. Also have the knowledge of how to use technology such as lighting, the camera, backgrounds, green screens, and many more. Editing. This job will explain how to get a job in photography editing. For this job, you'll be editing photos some people have either sent you or a photographer has taken, which may be you in some cases. In editing, you'll be mainly using Photoshop and similar websites to make sure a photo becomes the best it could possibly be. In editing, you'll be using Photoshop and similar websites to make sure a photo looks its best or make any changes that the client has requested. The salary for this particular job depends. According to Reddit, it was around $36,000 a year. Indeed said it's around $32,000 a year. According to Talent, it's around $31,000 a year, meaning average could be around $33,000 a year. In editing, you'll be constantly editing for photos for deadlines. You'll need to work on more than just one at a time. Work days are normally Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, depending on the job. You may need to do out of work hours too, just to get a job finished to meet the deadlines. Some good skills to have for this particular job are knowing apps like Photoshop and similar software that may be used. Also Teams, Excel, Trello, and maybe more. Having good social skills to talk to customers and co-workers. Determination and persistence. Keep going on with a job even if it look like it's failing. Good under pressure. When you meet deadlines and sudden changes happen, or having a lot of work to do may put you under a lot of stress, which means you have to be able to cope with that in a reasonable manner. Having the capability to work solo or within a team, and a very creative thought process. As a photographer, you'll be the one behind the camera taking the photos and make sure a picture is perfect for the customer. You also have to make sure everything looks good, such as effects, lightings, and colours. According to Glassdoor, they say a photographer can make over $40,000 a year. Indeed says on average they can make about $25,000 a year. Talent.com says they can make around $28,000 in a year. So on average, it's roughly around $30,000 in a year. Hours are normally Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Out of work hours may also be necessary to talk to clients and make sure the sets are looking okay for out of studio work. Also got to make sure if the sets are usable and safe to use. Skills that may or may not be required for a job. So leadership, being able to take control of the situation. However, if something goes wrong, you might be the one that has to sort it out. Being able to talk to clients of any age in an appropriate manner. You wouldn't talk to a bride the same way you would talk to a child. Having great time management. You need to know how to make sure you get all your photographers done in one session, send them off to whoever's editing, which may be you, and need to make sure the edits are all done on time. Giving back to the client within a reasonable time and whilst repeating the cycle in the process. Creativity if a photo doesn't go to plan. You must be good under pressure. We can't have you having a hissy fit if something doesn't go very well. Self-employed. For this job, you're seeking out jobs to go make money. This means you can be very flexible. You have two options for being self-employed. You go out looking for jobs and get paid for doing the jobs, or you make your own business and set and do all the parts yourself, or have a team. The pay will vary. If you have your own business, you can make your own prices and deals. If you go out looking for a job, they'll give you money for doing the jobs, which I've estimated to be around £31,000 a year. For this job, you need to have a lot of independence and self-encouragement. The past, future of the history of photography. So here's a brief history of photography for anyone who wants to get involved and know some facts about photography. So the first camera was made back in 1816 by a man named Joseph Neforum. He made the obscure. The obscure was made by making upside down reflections through a tiny pinhole which lasted for hours. The photo was taken back in 1826 by Joseph Nicephore in black and white from a view from the window at Le Glace. In 1833, Nicephore's understudy, Louis Scar, made what is now called the daguerreotype, so hard to say, for the public, which took a few minutes to form, so the models will have to stay really still for quite a while, still as a statue. In 19th century, Kodak made the Kodak Brownie, which was similar to the obscure, which used a lens for a shorter exposure and light-sensitive film. The first coloured photo was made by the free colour method suggested by James Clerk Maxwell in 1855, and it was taken in 1861 by Thomas Saturn. The first mobile camera to have a phone in it was the JSH-04, a Sharp J phone model sold in Japan in November 2000. One of the earliest websites to have sharing digital photos was Offphoto, starting up in 1999. Two of the most popular apps for sharing photos in 2023 is Facebook and Instagram. However, Snapchat and Twitter are still apps people use. How could this affect the future? Well, as the future progresses, equipment has always been better, such as camera quality, how many pixels can be on the screen, and the quality, filters and effects have become much easier to use. However, AI has been slowly taking over the past couple of years, such as story making and photo making. This means AI has sometimes stolen photos without the photographer or the model's consent, which could lead to a lot of problems in the future. The quality of cameras will get better, such as we have 1080p, which is the best quality we have so far. However, photos will get better and better, which includes storage. Storage space could also get better. So unrealistically, we could have cameras on our eyes to automatically take better photos from our perspective. We already have drones with cameras and video film in them. However, we could have something much smaller, less noisy, and also handheld, which can make a much better experience for the model. Unrealistically, we could have flying cars and portable phone drones, but that could also mean photographers wouldn't be needed for anymore. Hypothetically, we could also get moving images, sort of like a gift, but ends like a digital hologram, like we see in Harry Potter. It could be a special way to show a memory or a gift, especially of those of people who such as relatives, or maybe even seeing something for the first time again, like some baby's first step. After school. So you want to go into photography after school, however you don't know what step to take. Well, I'm here to explain to you 3 options you could use, the benefits and cons behind going to a university, or getting apprenticeships or an apprenticeship degree. So you plan on going to uni, but you don't know what you need to get in. Normally, if you want to get into university, you will need GCSEs or a college degree saying you have done something in a certain course and passed. You also may need CV and portfolios and a cover letter to show what you are like as a person and what achievements you may have done. A lot of the most important questions people may ask is, how long will you be studying for? Well, you'll be studying for 1 to 3 years, more or less. How are university courses taught? Well, there's many ways they could be taught, such as lectures, tutorials, practice works, tests, and etc. Maybe even doing some actual work on site helping photographers. What could you also study alongside photography? Another good one to know is fashion. Also modelling. Apprenticeships. So you want to go straight into an apprenticeship after college or after uni, which is the better option. So what will you do? So as an apprenticeship, you'll get paid to go study whilst also learning to do the job. You're working 3 to 5 days while also studying as well. There are 7 apprenticeship levels. You'll be working on anywhere from 3 to 7, depending on what job you do. The pay range for each level is £2 for a level is £4.30 an hour to £12.29 an hour. Level 3's pay range is around £5.95 to about £12.29. High levels of apprenticeship at a higher hour range could be £8.72 an hour to about £15.24 an hour. What is the minimal and maximum hours you have to work? The minimal is 30 hours and the maximum is 40 hours. What does a photography assistant get involved with? They have to help set up and pick up the right equipment, among other things, and being very obedient. Just basically being an assistant, normally. What else could you study whilst being an apprentice? Media, photography and Photoshop are all great skills to learn whilst you're in an apprenticeship. Pros and cons. You're getting paid while doing the job. Looks good on a CV, work experience, skills for work, and you finish without debts, hopefully. Cons. You still have to study, you get paid small amounts. The required amount of hours is 30 to 40 hours, which is quite a long time. You won't get the full college experience, and holidays are much shorter. Degree apprenticeship. A degree apprenticeship allows you to have a full undergraduate or master's degree whilst working alongside school. An apprenticeship lasts roughly around 6 years, depending on what level, 1 to 7 plus. Most of the time, you'll be forced to work 80% while studying 20%, giving little to no room to doing what you want. Apprenticeships work differently across the UK. What are the pros and cons of doing the apprenticeship degree? What are the pros and cons of doing a degree apprenticeship? You get paid, you get a degree, and you get work skills. The cons are prioritising work over studying. You have a load of schoolwork, limits your career, and you won't have a full experience in college, which is worth trying at least once. So this was me explaining how to get a job in photography. If you have further questions and you would like to do a video, please contact us at photogenic@gmail.com or visit our website www.photogenic.com.uk. We are always looking to answer any questions you may have or want to know about photography and how to get a job into it.